Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Daniel Francis. I'm the creator of the Master Your Stutter program. And in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down what exactly is the Master Your Stutter program and why should you be involved. If you've ever wanted to truly master your speech, unlock the public speaker within you, and be able to socialize with confidence, then this video is exactly for you. So let's get into it. If you're new to the channel, be sure to press subscribe, be sure to click on the notification bells, and be sure to get yourself involved every time I release a new video, especially if you're someone who wants to just better their speech, improve their ability to speak in front of others, handle their stutter, and just, again, tap into the speaker that you deserve to be. Then this channel is all about that. So let's get into this concept called Master Your Stutter. So the program is a program that I designed, and really what it is, it's a breakdown of my life over the last 7 years. So if you haven't seen the video on my life and really the step-by-step, process or chapters that I went through to really overcome my stutter, you definitely want to check out that video. But essentially what I've done is I've understood the patterns. And I'm always a big advocate of there's two ways to learn. Number one, you learn off your own mistakes and you just keep failing and you keep fumbling and you never actually make any real change. Or you start looking for other people that have been in your shoes and you mimic the same behavior. And what happens is you skip a lot of the learning curves. So I hope you really get that. Because yes, sooner or later, that person who keeps failing on their own, or they keep failing on their own, they'll figure it out sooner or later, but it's time. Do you get that? It's time that you are kind of wasting away trying to figure it out. And I know a lot of us, we're very stubborn and hard-headed. But if you start to understand this idea of like, you know what, I'm going to start being teachable. I'm going to start being open to new concepts and ideas, and I'm going to start actually understanding from other people's perspective and put my ego down, then you'll find you'll actually achieve a lot quicker results than trying to do it by your own. So what is the breakdown of the program? So there's 6 main steps that I get everyone to go through, and it's broken down in 6 ways. 6 ways. Number 1, master your mindset. So this is all about your mindset, the way you think, the way you see things, rewiring the neural pathways in your head, rewiring your emotions. I really talk about the first step to really anything is your mind. If you cannot control this thing, you're in big trouble. And a lot of people that I work with and my clients, they'll stay on module 1 for a month and they'll just rewatch the videos, they'll redo the workbook, and they'll practice all of these mindsets and these theories over and over and over again so they really understand it. And that's what really your mind is. If I can get someone to control their emotions and to control the way they react to certain things, their speech becomes a lot easier. But that's why, a lot of individuals, they'll try all these different speech techniques and they'll work for a week and then they're back to ground zero, is because they haven't handled the root core of the problem. What is the root core? Your mind. I know for me, when I look at my life in Brock in university, when I was depressed, I was on autopilot. I'd go to class, get up, study, finish assignments, finish labs, prepare for midterms, prepare for exams. And it was this autopilot. And some days I was good. Some days I was a complete mess. Some days I was great. Some days I was a complete mess. And I know living like that is not a way to live. If you look at a graph of your life, it shouldn't go up, down, up, down, up, down. What it should be is a stable incline. And just to kind of even set this idea is nothing stays flat. Usually when it's flat, it's usually going down over time. It's like, look at a plant. A plant is either what? It's either growing or it's what? It's dying. There's no in between. A plant does not stay the same level. So you got to really understand that about yourself. Are you going up and down, up and down? If that's the case, you're not really controlling your mindset. And we all know, and I know for myself, when I look at public speaking, for example, I'm not a good public speaker and I'll stutter a lot more when my mindset is off. I remember I was probably, again, in college, and I was speaking on campus with my network marketing company, and I walked into a room of about 40 people, and I'm nervous, I'm shaking. I'm telling myself, this isn't going to go well. I can't do this. I'm going to mess up. There's too many, influential people in the room, and that's exactly what I got. I got a room of everyone could feel my energy, that I was nervous because I didn't control my mindset. Or there's other times where I'm on fire. I've worked out in the morning. I feel good. I've practiced. I'm telling myself, I'm going to kill this thing. I'm going to do so good. And guess what? I do exactly that. So it's knowing how to regulate your emotions. And this is why I focus so much on this, because again, if you really want to master your speech and your mindset and your speaking abilities, it all stems from this. It stems from when you go to Starbucks and you go, I want an Americano. Before you walk up and ask for an Americano, what are you telling yourself? If you're in work meetings and you're like, I don't want to say something because I'm going to stutter or mess up, you're going to get exactly that. So it's looking at the patterns that you have and overriding them like a computer system. And that's what really Module 1 is all about. And again, you can try to do this on your own, but getting the help speeds up the process. Module 2 is all about fear. I know that if I can break fear out of your life, I can get you to do anything. And I have a lot of tough people that go, Daniel, I don't got any fear, man. I don't got any fear. Great. Here's a mic. You got 10,000 people in an audience, okay? You got an hour. Good luck, champ. Tell me how you would feel in that moment. Okay, so we're going to go skydiving tomorrow. Some people are like, let's do it. Okay. Others, there's no way in hell.
Oh, hell no.
So everyone has these fears, and everyone is comfortable at different levels of their fear. Some people are comfortable, like when I work with someone who stutters, like even for myself, talking in front of a mirror was perfect. I could talk in front of a mirror, it's by myself, no one's in the room, and I'm at my grandmother's house and I'm talking to myself in the mirror. There's no problem with that. But then get me in the same house at the kitchen table with 10 people around there, I'm quiet. So there's fear there. There's beliefs there. There's something that you're scared of. Maybe it would have been like, for me back in grade 7, I'm reading a paragraph in class, and I remember my friend goes, Daniel, it's your turn. It's coming up. And I go, oh my God, I can't believe it. And I'm like, my emotions are everywhere. And, obviously everyone's nervous, but I'm the kid with the stutter. And I remember I'm reading, and they go, Daniel, it's your turn. I can see in the teacher's eyes. He's like, oh God, here we go. He didn't have to say it. I could hear it in his head. And I start reading. I go, the stream was heavy and the like this. I was like, the stream was heavy and the water. And I look up, and it's super tense. And then all of a sudden, someone in the back starts laughing. And then literally the whole class starts laughing. And then the teacher starts laughing. And I'm like trying to smile with like a fake smile. I'm like, I literally walked out the room and I'm just crying in tears. And, we look at that moment, but that moment conditioned me. That moment conditioned me to be like, when Daniel talks, people don't take him seriously. And if you're someone who stutters, most likely you have situations like this as well in your life. And you're carrying this on. That was when I was 13 years old, but I'm carrying that when I'm 22. I'm carrying that when I'm, even now. And people, I deal with people that are 60. They're carrying that same emotion, that same fear, that what if I mess up? So that's what Module 2 is all about. Module 2 is mindset and fear. No speech techniques yet. Because we need to handle the roots. Because I understand if I can handle this, I can change this in your life, everything else becomes easy. Then we move on to module number 3, mastering your speaking and your influence. And that's what this really all is about, is your ability to sell and persuade and to articulate your ideas. So what makes a good speaker? Dressing the part, knowing how to be what's called an edutainer, knowing the 4-2-6 method, knowing I give a bunch of different techniques and practicalities that you could do to better your speech, like smiling more, okay? Like having better body language, enunciating your words, slowing down your breath. Like there's all these different techniques, but that doesn't matter if your mindset is off. This is the disconnect with speech techniques and the actual person. So then we start implementing the speech techniques, how to actually sell yourself, how to get someone to go on a date with you. What makes a good person that is attractive to go on a date with? How do you get someone to hire you for an interview? And that's what we talk about in Module 3, mastering your speaking and influence. Because we know, and I know, I've gotten people in my program that go through module 1, module 2. I'm good, man. I'm good. But there's obviously more to that. But when you start implementing the speech techniques, you fly like a rocket. Nothing is holding you back. And that's kind of what I've realized in module 3 is once we get module 1 and 2 done, and module 1 and 2 could take you a couple of weeks. That's the whole idea. Then move over to module 4. Module 4 and module 5 is really based on public speaking. So now we're taking the mindset, we're taking the overcoming fear, we're taking the speaking, the selling, the persuading, the ability to be agreeable and create affinity for people around you. And then we move out to module 4, which is building a presentation. Module 5 is public speaking. It's implementing that presentation. But what makes a good presenter? What makes a good public speaker? My belief is if I can get someone to be a solid public speaker, they can overcome their stutter. I know it's a big claim, right? Because when I mean overcome stuttering, it's not you're never stuttering ever again. There's no ever stutter and you're 100% fluent. No, of course not. But it's being able to feel confident. If I can get you to feel confident in a public speaking setting, you don't think you can take that everywhere else in life? Yes. So module 4 is all about building a presentation, knowing how to actually present your story on a slide deck, knowing how to get your 3 points and become very clear. I've done speeches in the past where I try to do it last minute. I have no idea what I'm talking about and I'm stuttering and I'm all over the place. You know, I was in Mississauga and again, I was probably 21. Someone gave me the mic. I did not prepare for it. I just kind of went up there and I didn't even know what I was talking about. I tried to make it up. Like, it's unclear and it didn't go well. It didn't land. The stories didn't work. You could tell like I was making it up. But then the flip side is when I'm preparing for my presentation. I know my stories. I'm writing it. I'm building it. I'm connecting with people. I know how to read my audience. I know how to actually understand what my audience is looking for. I have my intention, my purpose. It's clear. You will become a lot more of an effective speaker when you have that background. Then you move over to module 5. And what module 5 is how to implement the skills and the native abilities of what makes a really good public speaker. How to be purpose-driven, how to show your intentions, how to deliver a good message, how to dress the part, how to have the right body language, how to actually read the audience, how to engage with them, how to get them to actually engage with you. You know what the worst public speaker is? Someone who just gets up there and just talks the whole time and gets no engagement from the group. That is bad. Not knowing how to ask questions. There's a sequence to this. And that's what module 5 is all about. And really, from module 1 to module 5, like you're flying. It's just pushing through that. Okay. Then we have module 6, which is all about taking all 5 modules. And the last one is called mastering the art of socializing. I understand if I can bring you through module 1 to 5, now let's put it into day-to-day life. Let's put it into a work meeting. Let's put it into talking with your wife or with your husband. Let's talk in, giving a school presentation, going to Toastmasters, going to a social event and connecting with all these other individuals. That was the biggest thing. I know personally for myself, that's why door-to-door was so powerful for me because I've taken all these skills and I can actually have a full hour conversation. I'm not putting on a mask for a couple minutes, hoping that they don't catch me stutter. I now have the ability to have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hour conversations. I remember walking in and it's like my first sale, or really this is like probably my 10th or 15th sale. And I'm so relaxed and I'm so comfortable. And I'm just like, there's no expectation. I'm just having such a good time. I have one guy show me his car collection and his 12-thing garage. I have one person show me his boat collection with all his little toys. And I'm just talking and this is really what I was looking for my whole life. Knowing how to just have a conversation and not really prepare for it. You know, that is really the end goal. In public speaking, it's a little bit different. But in socializing, it's just like, I have no expectation where this conversation is going to go. I'm going to cross my fingers, hope for the best. I'm just going to have a really good time. And that's what the last module is all about, is taking all of this and putting it into one module or putting it into one module where you're learning the basics of how to be funny at the right time, how to share your message, how to understand communication is a two-way street, how to build affinity, how to get someone to like you, how to actually understand someone, how to be not always interesting, but interested in someone, and knowing how to connect this all. And I know this is my life in a box. If we bring you through every single module, there's no reason why you should not be able to speak with confidence at the end of it. If you've got to the end of it and you haven't actually mastered it, then you haven't actually understood it. And that's my fault as the teacher. But I've had too many people kind of go through it and start understanding the basics, because it's all basics. It's not a breathing technique that's going to solve your problems. It's all this stuff. And then what I do with all of my students is at the end of it is we're going to do a live presentation, or a live interview really, in front of my community of, it's currently at 1,500 people right now, but it's doing a live interview and taking who you were and putting it in front of others, because the only way you're going to overcome your stutter is by communicating more. So this is the last final project where we do a live interview in front of all these different individuals. This is a life-changing program, and I hope I'm really conveying the message. Now, how do we get you to go through all these different modules? Well, there's a couple things. One, we have an online membership where there's going to be videos for each module, each lesson set, and you're going to have a workbook that you're going to have to complete. So each module 1 has a bunch of videos and a workbook. Module 2, a bunch of videos and a workbook. And that's all you got to do. Go through it. There's different assignments. You're going to have to send me videos. And I, as your coach, or other coaches that are going to be part of the program, their job is to get you through the actual modules. We have 2 coaching calls a week where you jump on. It's about anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours, sometimes a little bit more. You come on, you show us, you've learned the systems in the module. And that's what those coaching calls are really all about. And helping you reconnect the dots in your head. And it's like everyone has a gym for their body, but do you have a gym for your mind and your speech? Something that you show up consistently, showing up, speaking, talking. Do you have something like that? Because that's what the whole program is about. There's a step-by-step system. Because what's the other side? You watching every single YouTube video that you could find on stuttering. The other option is reading every single book or doing speech therapy for an hour or two. Like, to really overcome it, it's this consistency over and over and over again, and also having a step-by-step plan. The problem with our generation is we have too much information. There's too much online. You don't know who's right and who's wrong. And that's why I've kind of built this plan is I know what works because I've lived through it. I know what it feels like, and I speak like this. And if I don't expect anyone to work with me if they don't want to talk similarly to me. But if I inspire you, and you say, you know what, I would like to speak like Daniel one day, then perfect. I could be a mentor of yours. If you're like, I never want to speak like Daniel, then yeah, this isn't the program for you. But all I do is I know what works, and I bring you through the steps. It's going to make you uncomfortable. They're coaching calls. I'm going to be your coach, okay? And you're going to have an actual online membership and 2 videos. Then we also do a 3rd call. So on the weekends, currently right now it's on a Saturday, you're going to be jumping on, and it's called our role-playing Saturday, where you're going to come on, and it's not going to be based on the modules. It's going to be based on everyone has to be given an exercise. And just like Toastmasters or just like a public speaking, event, everyone's going to come on and speak for about 5 or 10 minutes with a certain exercise. So today, everyone is going to pretend to share their life story within 5 minutes. Today, everyone's going to talk about why, they should be drinking water instead of pop. And each day has a different theme. And with the 2 coaching calls and the 3rd call where everyone is practicing, the truth is, you will become exactly who you want to be in a couple months. There's no doubt in my mind. And I hope you can actually start to see that. On top of that, we also have a private Facebook group that's 24/7 access, and a WhatsApp group that you're going to be connecting to and going in and connecting with other people. And I know for myself, the reason why I struggled so long with my stutter is I didn't want to talk to anyone about it. I didn't want to message anyone. I didn't want to let anyone know. And I stayed in the shadows and I suffered by myself. And you don't have to do that. Imagine being in a community of other people who stutter, who are also crazy about investing into themselves, have made a decision, and are as hungry and ambitious as you. The worst thing you could do is be with people who are not ambitious and stutter. The best thing you could do is be with other people who are ambitious. They invest into themselves. They're doing everything they can. They're role-playing. Imagine role-playing with someone all the time. You have a community, and that's kind of what we offer in the Master Your Stutter program. So this is essentially everything really in a box. And I want you to start asking yourself, what is it worth to you to master your speech? How much money are you really missing out? Just think about it. So let's say you have a job and you're making 50 grand a year. If you mastered your speech, do you think you can make 70 grand a year? Could you make 100 grand? Could you double your income? Could you triple it? Whoa. Now we're talking too big, Daniel. But think about it. Look at any great speaker. Look at any great CEO. Look at any great manager. Look at anyone great. What did they have to do? They had to sell their ideas to others. So how much money do you think you're leaving on the table for not actually learning this? What friends and relationships are you missing out on? I know for myself, I could have never found the love of my life if I stuttered and was highly insecure of my speech. There's no way I would have landed her. She's way too good looking for me. Way too good looking for me. That was worth a lot. Like, I know personally for me, I've spent close to $100,000 just on my personal development because I know I'm the asset. The more I work on me, the more I can produce. So when I bought a $5,000 or $10,000 program, I knew that I would get my ROI on that. Do you get that? I'm not buying a car here. I'm not buying, a cute little couch. It's almost like I'm a video game character and I'm leveling myself up. Do you get that? That's what it's all about. And if you're watching this and if you're struggling with your speech, the worst thing you could do is find all these reasons or find the cheap ways or find excuses why it's not working or try to get something for nothing. That's not how I work, nor do I want to work with you if you're something like that. Imagine having a girlfriend or a boyfriend and you're the guy and you go, hey, let's get married, but I don't want to buy you an engagement ring. It's too much money. No, I don't want to buy you a wedding ring. Tell me how that goes. She probably doesn't want to be with you because you're not someone who's committed. So think of your speech like this. Are you committed to overcome it? Are you willing to do whatever it takes? So if that's the case, then there will be a link below that you can click and actually book a call with my office. And we do a free strategy call on understanding where you're currently at and where you want to go in life. But don't book it if you're not committed, if you're not ready for change. I don't want you to. It's a waste of your time. Book it when you're ready. Book it when you're like, enough's enough. I live in Canada, and really in North America, people will spend anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 on a bachelor's degree, on an MBA, on a master's, a PhD. Like, people will spend all this money. You got to look at your speech like that. You got to look at your communication like that. How much are you spending on your communication? Well, I don't know if it's going to work. But do you know getting a degree is going to work? Do you know going to college is going to work? Do you know this relationship? You just spent X amount of dollars on that ring. Do you think that's going to work? I don't know if it's going to work. But I've met enough individuals that are older than me, have lived a long more life than me, and one of their biggest regret is not taking the risk when they had it. Not taking that shot when they could have, not traveled the world, even though it cost them a lot of money. Not blah, 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 because now they're older and now they're sick and now they don't, and now they're bitter. Now they're upset. You gotta understand with everything in life, money is replenishable. Time isn't. And if you're someone who's currently still watching this, I want to remind you that the longer you wait, the more pain you endure, but the more money that you're missing out on, the more life you're missing out on. Think about it. That job analogy. I've had people go through my program. The next, literally 3 months later, they land a job that pays them $10,000 more a year. They made back their money like this. So I want you to understand that this is my program. This is my life in a box. I know what this does. This isn't a question of, is this going to work for me or not? You're going to learn the exact skills of how to be a strong public speaker, how to socialize with confidence, and how to become the best version of you. The question is, are you willing to increase your commitment and do whatever it takes to become the best version of you and go all in? I only work with people that are willing to go all in. When you work with me, we talk about a concept called burning the boats. Like, you burn the boats. There's no going back. There's no, you just put your feet in the water a little bit. Oh my God, it's too cold. I'm someone that says, I need you to jump into that pool and do a cannonball. If you're not willing to do a cannonball, don't want you to book the call. But if you're hungry to change, if you're hungry to find a better version of you and be able to make it happen in a couple months, then book a call with my office. Understand more with the Master's Stutter program. Ask us any questions. We are here to help. I am here to serve as many people as I can overcome this battle with speech. That is my life purpose. It's what I do. It's what I'm obsessed about. So I hope I'll see you very soon. And remember, if you can be fluent in one situation, you can be fluent in all. Take care.